New Mexico has one of the highest rates of poverty in the United States, but local food banks aren't nearly as busy as other nonprofits around the country. News 13's Annalisa Pardo joins us from her home to explain why. Annalisa?
Jessica, more than 70,000 New Mexicans have filed for unemployment during this pandemic, but our local food banks aren't as busy as some other states. Across the nation, cameras are catching lines spanning for miles of people needing food from food banks. In San Antonio, Texas, 10,000 families showed up to a food bank in one day. Food banks in New Mexico aren't seeing lines of that magnitude, but are still seeing long lines. The Food Bank of Eastern New Mexico says it's seeing about a 40% increase in customers. Lines at the Food Depot in Santa Fe stretch a mile-and-a-half long. Roadrunner says at just 3 of its distribution sites, it serves up to 1,600 families a week.
So we've had to be creative in how we run our operations. We've had to be creative in how we distribute food. And it's meant that, it's changed sort of the food bank world in general.
So what's helping the food banks in New Mexico? The state says that it could be because early on in the pandemic, the state created a program to feed elderly, disabled adults, and families at schools. But local food banks are bracing for a surge as more New Mexicans lose jobs or run out of savings.
The longer this virus lingers on, I think that will mean a longer term need for people who are struggling to access basic things like food. And in a state where we already have high poverty rates, that's going to exacerbate that problem, I think, even further.
Roadrunner says it's preparing to feed more families by working with new vendors to source food from and to buy more food and searching for more volunteers. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Annalisa. Today, Albertsons in Santa Fe donated 30,000 paper sacks to the Food Depot for food distribution.